To start off, for people who haven't heard about the case, I'll cover real quick Ethan Boyd's case. Ethan Boyt went missing from Phenix City, Alabama since June 24, 2022. Basically, 2 days ago is 3 years. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, on June 24, 2022, Phoenix City Police responded to a call and told Ethan's family that Ethan was under the influence of an unknown substance and he fired a neighbor's gun, which struck a vehicle and residents, and that responding officers were shown surveillance video of this occurring. For reasons the family still has received no explanation of, Ethan was not arrested. One of the officers on the scene stated that Ethan was threatening to unalive himself. The police left the scene, and Ethan was said to have been left alone in his apartment. He has not been seen since. His cell phone and wallet were found in his apartment. Ethan's mom, this is from the news article from information released by his mom and the Phenix City PD. So apparently this came from directly from you or the PD. Ethan's mom lived out of town, but the two of them never went more than a couple days without talking. Ironically, after not arresting him on the scene, a week later, the police department made a Facebook post stating he was wanted for shooting into an occupied dwelling. That was the whole warrant thing. So that's the story for anyone who doesn't know about Ethan's case. Tasha is, you go by Nicole or Tasha.
I go by Nicole. Legally is Tasha, but yes, I go by my middle name, which is Nicole.
It has been a long 3 years for you. You've been through a heck of a lot. I know that there's so much going on right now. You and I talk every now and then. We text, and you update me on the latest stuff. But if you could take people watching this and don't know anything about you or the case, after all that happened and Ethan disappeared, could you take viewers, like people, back to the beginning, your first reaction when all of a sudden you hear Ethan's missing?
There's no way. This would be happening to me, because it's one of them circumstances you're like, that's something that'll never happen to you. And through all this, I've actually considered doing a thing to make it to where schools request dental records like they do shot records. Because right now I'm struggling to get dental records for a jawbone that is in Columbus or in GBI lab, I guess in Atlanta. It's in one of the GBI labs in Georgia that is still unidentified that could be possibly his.
The jawbone, I know, was a huge deal. We talked about it when Nug and Adam were there. You discussed the jawbone being discovered. Could you remind people, if they haven't watched that video, where did the jawbone come from? When was that found? What was that all about?
It was found about a year and a half ago, I believe. Ethan still had his wisdom teeth. And the thing about this jawbone was it still had its wisdom teeth. Okay. And the age range for this jawbone was between 16 and I think they said 16 and 20 was the jawbone range of age. So that's why we've got to figure out that jawbone. I don't care if it's Ethan or not Ethan. We need to figure out the jawbone.
Where was the jawbone found?
At this point, along the river, the Chattahoochee River, the same area where they found the skull, the femur, and the hip bone, which has been identified. They have not released who it was, but those have been identified.
Were those identified as one person?
Yes, those were one person.
Okay. You think it's still possible the jawbone is not the same person? Well, I guess they would have identified that, right, if it was.
Possibly could have already identified it as that person, being that they've already identified those remains. Because the way I see it is, if they know that person, then they've probably already gotten those dental records. They haven't identified that jawbone yet, though.
So it's probably not that person, because I think you're right. If they were able to identify the other three pieces, correct, and they couldn't identify that one, then probably not the same person, right?
Correct.
And that jawbone, The only reason it hasn't been tested against Ethan's DNA, I mean, you provided your DNA. I think new DNA because they messed up the original.
They said there
right?
wasn't. Well, Phenix City believes he's still alive.
They still believe he's
Like
alive.
they're set on he's hiding. Yeah, Phenix City is set on that he's hiding. He's on the run. They just
So they
don't
so they
believe
won't
that
even
he's
bother
missing.
testing his DNA and the jawbone. They don't even want to try.
The only person that has received my DNA is Columbus because Phenix City does not believe he's actually missing.
Is Columbus willing to test?
Phenix City says they can't request anything like that.
And Columbus won't test of their own on their own. Like Columbus won't just test against your DNA and the jawbone.
Well, Sergeant Baker over in Columbus said there wasn't enough DNA to extract from that jawbone. That's why they needed Ethan's dental records. Law doesn't require a retired dentist to keep dental records. I'm having that difficulty of getting them.
So wow, you're down to the jawbone is in Columbus's possession. All you need is his dental records for them to test. Wow.
And I can't get them because the dentist is retired.
And all the dental records have just poof, gone, disappeared.
Vanished.
What?
Just vanished. My goal is to do something about that. Because, I mean, to this day, do you know that you can go to your last high school, to the Board of Education, and get your transcripts? All your shot records and everything?
Okay.
To this day, you can still do that. So if Ethan's school had a copy of his dental records, I could have went right here to the last school he attended, right here at Wetumpka. Let me rephrase that. Right here in Wetumpka, where he attended at the age of 17. So I can clarify this for everybody. He lived here at age 17.
Okay.
Okay. Because that has been said multiple times that he lived there at, with Antonio. So let me clarify that. He lived here. So I could have went to Wetumpka High School here and gotten his transcripts, and they would have had dental records. So my goal is to make it so that they are now to request dental records for your schooling too, not just shot records.
When did Ethan move out and move in?
He moved back there when he turned 8. When he turned 18, or close to his 18th birthday, is when he moved back.
Okay.
Because he came to me and my husband and asked what we thought about it. We told him what we thought about it. We told him we didn't think it was a good idea. But Ethan is very strong-headed. He wanted what he wanted. There was no stopping him. He was fixing to be 18 either way. So he had his own car that his dad had given him, so he left.
You might notice I'm smiling because I'm thinking he sounds a little bit like his mom.
I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. That I am. Especially the past 3 years have made it really. I'm a pusher right now.
Oh yeah.
But I have to be. Especially being that nobody's listening.
The police aren't.
They're saying things that are completely opposite.
There's so many things we could talk about, and you and I have been through from the beginning to the end, and I feel bad because a lot of people don't know those details, and I think some of it that's important for people to know is that Ethan lived with Anthony for how many years again? Were they roommates? I can't remember.
So I'm not exactly sure how long they were actually roommates. They were best friends since junior high.
Right.
Okay. So we moved away from Smith Station back to Wetumpka. His sister had to have been close to a year old, somewhere between 6 months and a year old. We moved back here. And I think he left from here when she was about 2.5, 3 years old, somewhere between 2.5 and 3.
Wow. Okay.
Is when he moved back there. When I say that he moved here with me, he moved here with me.
And then when he was about 18, 19, if I understand correctly, he moved in with Anthony at the apartment.
18, he moved back there. It was somewhere between like right at his 18th birthday
Okay.
is when he moved back.
Here's the thing. So he and Anthony were roommates, and then in 2022, this thing happened. He was either given or willfully took some kind of substance. I'm assuming based on the manic behavior, maybe something like acid, but we don't know. We don't know for sure. Did Ethan have a history?
Correct.
And I'm sorry to ask this question, but people are going to wonder, did he have a history of taking things, even if it was just pot?
No. So Ethan would have given you the shirt off his back. Ethan was a kind-hearted person. Ethan hated his uncle Thomas, hated him with a passion for the drugs he used. Now Ethan
Okay.
smoked his marijuana. That is unbeknown knowledge to my whole family that Ethan was a pot smoker. Everybody knew he was. But as far as anything other than that, either he has started using when he moved back there or he was given unknowingly.
And then there's the other piece. So he was with Anthony. That was in 2022. Then I talked to Marie, and learned
Yeah,
her
her story
history.
doesn't line up with what Antonio told me, though.
It's different than Antonio's.
It's different than what I was told.
Do you mind sharing the difference?
So Antonio told me that he accidentally called his mom. His sister's the one that called and told me that Ethan was missing. Okay, that's who called and told me that Ethan was missing. But Antonio and his sister both confirmed that Antonio had accidentally called his mother that night. And then she came and got Antonio, being she is Antonio's mom.
Okay.
Antonio's sister said that she begged her mother to sit there with them until she got off work, and she did not. And that's when things escalated, was when she left with Antonio.
And Ethan was left alone.
Correct. But as far as him calling, that's what I was told.
And what's Marie's story?
She had said that he called his mother. I don't know. I have to look back at the YouTube video, but it was not the same. I do know that because I was making notes. I've watched that video over and over for the past 3 weeks. I have made notes of different things that just did not add up. Because I've got a puzzle. And I've got all the outer puzzle pieces and the middle puzzle piece. And I'm trying to put this puzzle together. Because I've got a puzzle. And I've got to figure out the rest of this puzzle. Because I'm going to figure it out.
Marie told us, and you watched it enough times, you know this already. People who haven't watched the video, Marie told us the timeline of when she met. First, she met Ethan. They were friends from work.
Ain't no way.
No.
Ain't no way. Do the math,
Okay.
Ryan. I think it was January 16th is when that murder happened. She was 5 months pregnant. Do the math backwards.
She was 5 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm. According to her stepmother, yes. When I got that phone call that Marie and Antonio was missing and she thought something had happened to her, her stepmother said she was 5 months pregnant. And I got the messages to prove it.
This is important though, because if someone is changing reality, telling another story, each of those puzzle pieces that you're identifying as a difference from what other people have said, there's a reason people change stories. And that could form a pattern. These are very weird details to change.
I mean, there's a lot. If you go back to her video on the interview with you, when she starts talking about that night and her being pregnant, she leaves out the detail where they hid the car and they stayed in a hotel room for months.
But Anthony was in the hospital for a month.
No, for the murder that he's in jail for right now.
Oh, okay.
They hid that car and they stayed in a hotel room for months. She left that part out. If he's so innocent and y'all are so innocent on everything, including Ethan's stuff, Why are you hiding and changing information?
Just to be a devil's advocate on the shooting that happened. I know she claims they were selling marijuana, selling pot. I kind of question that piece, but because who would get shot over pot? But anyway, setting that aside, I could see if Anthony had shot someone to defend her, like
Oh,
she
it's
said.
Antonio, by the way.
Sorry, Antonio. If he shot someone, I could see wanting to hide, like wanting to hide from the law. So that kind of makes sense, just considering he didn't want to get in trouble and go to jail for what happened. But the other things you're outlining do make me concerned because if she was 5 months pregnant at the time it happened, and if she's lying about when she met Ethan, the reasons for making that lie, there's something to that if it doesn't line up, or the other people aren't telling the truth. Here's the thing, though. So here's the thing, Nicole. I was hoping by the end of that interview, her and you would come together and start like, you know, t- going through the puzzle pieces, working on the case together. And I'm taking it that never happened.
Nope. Because I keep having on my phone, like I can scroll down. So if I pull down my screen up here,
Hmm.
I would see Facebook notification, location sharing, just on and off on the rare occasion. And Messenger wouldn't be open, Facebook wouldn't be open, but my location would be sharing with somebody.
Okay.
Don't know who it's sharing with. It won't let me tap on it. It won't let me do nothing. All I can do is swipe it away.
But so my question though is why did you never contact her or she never contact you after the interview? Like after you watched her interview,
But
was it
she did
because you started
contact.
recognizing things off?
Well, I'm a little leery only because of some information I've received. Okay, number one, my location is being shared. Don't know why, don't know how. This is a brand new phone. Same phone number, brand new phone. Only had it since
Have you
December.
have you tried turning off location on Facebook Messenger or whatever's doing
Yep,
it?
it's all off.
So what's your concern, Nicole? Are you thinking people are trying to track you, like related to them,
Hmm.
Marie and Antonio?
Hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm getting closer to figuring this out because people are slipping up. And I have somebody giving me inside info. I'm not sure how or why, but if you look back at all of my Facebook messages or my Facebook post in like the Phenix City Columbus chat group
Yes.
in the past 3 years that I've posted, Marie, Antonio's sister, Christina Peardon, all of them, nobody has commented in almost 3 years. But the moment we start doing a search about that Chattahoochee River or post about the Chattahoochee River, they start getting in there. Antonio's name's not mentioned. Marie's name's not mentioned. His sister's name's not mentioned. But they want to get on there and bash me about how of a parent I am, how crappy of a person I am, how much Ethan hated me. Well, if Ethan hated me so much, why'd he call me every other day? Why did I send him thousands of dollars at tax time? Why did we FaceTime all the time
Yeah.
if he hated me so much? That started when we started doing the search for divers and stuff, looking for divers to go in that water.
Oh, when you first
Um,
started looking for
because
divers. Wow.
yeah, so and that's why I created Ethan's page because I can't post to that group page without them bashing it and getting the comments turned off because they were doing it so bad that they were having to turn off the comments. I mean, y'all ain't said nothing in 3 years. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom, here y'all are all over my stuff. in every group I post under. Every group. All of a sudden. And then here Marie is. Every time I've tried to message her in Messenger, it's been radio silence or leave me alone or go the F away or, and most of them's all caps. But not the other day. She swears up and down Ethan's been opening up his Snapchat and did in March. Okay, we'll find out. It's being subpoenaed. So we'll find out.
March of what year?
This year.
2025?
That's what she told me. It was opened up in March of this year.
But she told me it stopped in... Wow. She said it stopped in around 2020, late 2023, 2024 or something. So it started up again, or she's telling a different story?
I opened up my own Snapchat account. The one that says why. Sorry. I don't know if y'all can see this.
Yes.
Let's see. The one that says why is supposed to be Ethan's, okay? You see it says delivered, right?
Yes.
Of course, I've been doing this like every so often since she told me, okay?
Yeah.
They all just say delivered. He's not read not one, okay? But yes, she messaged me and said, I'm going to make sure I'm clarifying this correctly. June the 10th is when she messaged me. And it says, sorry so late. I'm not sure if it means anything. And it may or may not be him opening his messages on Snap. The last text was March. I just wish I knew when it was opened.
So she says she doesn't know when it was open. Okay.
That's what she says.
Okay. She didn't say March of what year?
When she's saying, because I clarified it, she is saying this year.
Okay.
I get her to give me his screen name, which is, I don't know. Don't know why. Ethan's always been funny about names. He liked to give funny ones. But yes, and I got her to clarify something else for me, which I have in black and white form writing. I'm not sure that I can actually put that on here yet because I think I'm going to go to FBI with that one.
Okay.
And you know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to verbally put that one out there yet.
Yep. Definitely don't want to hurt the case. So I don't get it, Nicole, because when I interviewed her, she came across like she wanted to help you. She did admit that she treated you poorly at the messages, ignoring you or being rude to you. And then she said that more recently, she's, especially after having her child, she's come to understand, not really understand, but could imagine losing your child, what that would feel like. And she started to empathize more.
I don't think anybody can imagine what I'm going through unless they are going through something like this.
Yeah, I understood.
I promise you. Losing a child is one thing. Okay. Being able to bury your child, losing that child is one thing. Now, losing a child and never being able to bury that child and grieve for that child, that's a whole nother ballgame. Because I've got a door that can be closed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he floating somewhere?
Yeah.
Is he just out there and just not got the right brain on him?
You and I have talked, sometimes texted late at night about where could he be. I mean, we're literally looking at maps, like looking at areas that could be searched potentially. Yes. And so I get it. I completely understand. Like, you're on a mission right now to get answers, to get closure, and you're angry. Understandably, you are angry because someone did this. Someone caused his disappearance. You need answers and you need justice. Specifically the thing with Marie, though, and I know we're talking a lot about her, so I have a feeling I'm going to get a YouTube notification that she wants me to clear everything about her name.
Bleep
but the thing is, if she's related to the case, we're allowed to talk about her because she's participating. She's given an interview. Her name's out there. She's public. Um, I don't get it. I don't why it would be her because she was initially friends with Ethan. Yes, she dated his roommate. What would be do you have any ideas for I don't understand what the motive would be for either her or Anthony.
I think that'll be in this box, and it's going to be on the SD drive that's in this box. This box right here. Because I have voice recordings, remember? And I think one of these voice recordings is going to be the why.
I thought that was
the reason why we started looking. Oh yeah, Silva said it was, but he wants it now, remember?
Okay, so it's related to what we
'Cause
talked about before. Got it. Okay.
Yes. It's on that call.
Do you, regarding Silva, do you now feel like at least he is not corrupt?
I think he may not be corrupt. I think there are corrupt cops in that field office. And I say that because I've left so many voice messages for him on his voicemail box. And every time I've actually gotten him on the phone, he's never received my voicemails. You've heard that Saturday we were there. He never got my voicemail.
Yeah.
So now we communicate via email, and I get him pretty quickly. And if he's not in office, he responds back with, I was off or I was in court. I'm sorry. Did you need me to call you? And I'll respond back to him. Yeah. Can you give me a call? Or no, I just need to touch base with you on this. And, he responds pretty quickly now.
Wow.
So I don't think it's him, but I do think my voicemails were being deleted.
Someone internally, either that, just again, I like to be the skeptic. So maybe they just have a really crappy voicemail system at the police department.
I don't know about that. Because I've called his voicemail before and it's been full. So I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh. So someone doesn't want you communicating with him if that's true. They don't want you to talk.
Well, and that's the way I feel because right now Silva was trying to get an area search that you and I had talked about.
Oh, that's good news.
But it's up to the captain. And as of right now, the captain's not approving it. From what I'm waiting on. So I'm assuming the captain hasn't approved it because I haven't heard back from Silva about the approval yet. It's private property.
Yeah, but I believe that what you and I talked about, that he would have enough information to get a warrant. I really believe that.
If the captain's not corrupt.
You're in a tough situation. You are in a tough situation.
Man,
I don't know who to trust. It's not like other moms that I see you with that have the police force on their sides. Yeah.
I'm not like them. I don't have the police force on my side.
Yeah.
They've never been on my side because they've only seen him as a fugitive on the run. So it's difficult for me to know who to trust at this point, especially with the information that I've received, recent. And that was confirmed. So that it's actually true. So, it's difficult for me to know who to trust on that force now.
You have a unique situation where you don't know. There is still, regardless of what Marie told me last time when we talked, there's always the possibility that there's gang involvement, that there is gang, which means drug money, which means a lot of money usually can buy out at least one or two police officers who cover for them, cover evidence, do things.
Right. Now I was told by Ethan's what we call his twin. Okay. We call him his twin. Because he resembles Ethan a lot. And even Columbus PD can tell you he resembles Ethan a lot. So, but there is a little gang activity. So that does not. There is a little gang in there. I'll go ahead and tell you that. I will confirm that one.
Like connected to the case?
Connected to. Okay, I'm going to confirm it. There's gang activity connected to Ethan and Antonio. I will confirm that.
Do you have evidence of that, though? Like, do you have evidence that that's the case?
Evidence on me, no. But confirmed through a mutual friend of Ethan's and Antonio's, yes. That hit out Marie and Antonio, yes.
Oh.
That helped Marie and Antonio take apart a murder weapon and throw it in the Chattahoochee River, yes. That was also in the car with them that night, yes.
Oh my gosh. Nicole, you have been doing your homework. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Oh my God.
Who else is going to advocate for Ethan other than me if the police department isn't? I mean, come on. Their Captain Skip, okay, I'm going to say his name. Captain Skip told me that if Ethan was lying dead somewhere in a ditch, I think this was like 3 weeks after Ethan went missing, that if he was lying dead somewhere in a ditch, buzzards would be flying over him. So, I mean, if I don't advocate for Ethan and do my research and search for him and do my own investigation, who is? Because the police ain't. Every lead they've gotten has come from me.
Yeah.
That I've gotten. So
Yeah.
I might as well be their police force.
Hopefully at least Silva now, it's amazing. Going from the day you and I walked into the police department and he was all like he
Huffy
didn't,
puffy, go F
yeah.
you.
And I got the impression like he didn't really care a whole lot about anything you had to say. And you even said that at one point. You're just standing there with your arms crossed. You really don't give a shit. And fast forward though, got to give the guy credit to today. Fast forward to today, he's starting to pay attention to you. He's starting to pay attention to what you're finding. And to me, that's key. That's like really important.
Well, somebody sent him Marie's video interview with you, and apparently something didn't add up to him.
Okay.
Is all he told me. He didn't give me details on what wasn't adding up, but he just said something wasn't adding up. He was digging a little deeper.
Well, thank God for that. Sometimes something good comes from publicity and talking to people, and
right.
Man, I hope he keeps that up. I hope, is it the chief or the sergeant? What's his chief of police who's denying this?
It'd be his captain, Silva's captain.
So the captain, and you said his name earlier, Chip?
No. That's not the captain no more, from my understanding. Captain Skip.
Skip.
He was the captain when Ethan went missing. And believe me, I had a few choice words with him over the phone a time or two. Because the one thing I wanted to know in the beginning was, how can you tell me that he's not missing when I'm sitting here and telling you something is not right? That boy has never left his wallet nor his phone behind. He's never went more than 2 days without calling me. And even if he did, I would call him, he would pick up. How in the world can you tell me he's not missing?
I mean, fugitive from justice. If you're a fugitive from justice, why the hell would you leave your wallet in your phone? Maybe your phone because you don't want to be tracked, but you're going to need money. You're going to need your ID. You're going to need your wallet at least, I would think.
Everything was left behind.
I really hope the chief of police works with Silva and does the right thing. Do the search.
I hope they do search where I'm asking them to search.
If it's the land that you and I talked about, I told you myself, I'm like, if my dog was trained by this point and we could get Lamb as well and we could get anyone else, we would have already been there. But it's all posted private property, so we can't do diddly squat at this point.
That's the issue. It's private property.
It's all in the police.
And now I'm back to whom? Who do I need to rely on to get on that property?
Honestly, Silva, at this point.
Exactly. What do I need to do? Do I need to raise money for the police department to beg them to here's you some money. Let's give me the what I need to get on that property.
It's been 2 years. It's been 3 years. I'm sorry, 2022,
3 years.
2025. 3 years at this point. All they need is one dog. One dog, from what I've learned in the past couple weeks, one dog can scan that land in no time. That's all they need. That doesn't cost a whole lot. They just need a dog.
I told
And
Silva, I told Silva, I said, look, if you get what you need to get on that land, I got certified cadaver dogs at my expense. If you just get us on that land.
yeah, yes, yes. Just need the warrant. I mean, if they need resources, actually, I'll tell you what. If they open it up, I probably can get you one of the best search dog teams in the country out of Pennsylvania that we know, and they will find anything on that land. I guarantee it, 100%. Like,
We just need on that land.
just need access. You just need access.
Mm-hmm.
Or anyone. The police needs access. If they need the resources, if they can't afford it, it doesn't have to cost them anything. I mean, you're willing to provide them the resources.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just need on the land.
At the very least, Nicole, if that search can happen, let's say if I had to bet, I would bet that they'll find something. But let's say they don't. Let's say it's cleared. At least it gives you, the mother of Ethan, the peace of mind knowing that the critical number one, I'm getting the impression that this is probably your number one suspect, or at least number two, is at least that land is cleared. And give you that peace of mind knowing that there's nothing there. Right? I mean,
Yeah,
that would help.
it would give me the knowledge of knowing that the land that I'm being told that I can possibly find him at is cleared.
I'll tell you, Nicole,
I can't give too much info on where that land is.
of course, well, you don't want to either because you don't want to let anyone know who could do something. So, but the
I
thing
don't want
is,
nobody moving
yes,
anything.
I feel for you so much because I can't imagine if it was my child. I have a lot of respect for you because as a father, if it was my child, I don't know that I would respect the law. Like, I don't know that I could stop myself.
If I had a trained cadaver dog that lived in my house, I would have already been on that land.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure you would. Who wouldn't? What parent wouldn't?
Like
Say you
if
get
I had a
arrested.
trained cadaver dog that I
Yeah,
owned, I would have already been on that land.
yeah.
In the night with a light, just you would have never known I was there.
Yep. Oh man, I can't imagine. This is such a nightmare, and for it to, it's crazy because your Ethan's case is almost identical in time frame. Actually, Ethan's is a little longer than a lot of the local cases, like the Layla case. And it's so similar because it's got you got drug involvement, you've got potential gang involvement. These cases are terrible, and it's very similar between the two communities too. Like Kingsport, it's very similar to down where you
But
are,
are they
where there's
trafficking these people? Are they organ trafficking them? Are they human trafficking them? Or what are they doing to them?
right. Don't
Or
know.
was he,
It's
or
like
was this person just straight up killed?
it adds a whole different element, doesn't it? When it's not just like they got abducted. Like if you knew that that was most likely the case, but you got in your area and the area in here near Kingsport, there's so many other possibilities. Like you said, trafficking, drug overdose, where whoever was
Mm-hmm.
there freaked out and they got rid of the remains, or like there's 10 scenarios it could be because of the type of crime that's in these areas.
Right.
And then can you trust the cops? Can you trust the cops? It's always a question with these cases.
Mine's a really big question on trusting cops, though.
I don't know. I don't know. So I guess we're settled on. I guess I'm going to give up hope on you and Marie being like the getting in the mystery machine and working on the case together at this point?
I don't know, because I want to trust her. I want to have the info she wants to give me. I mean, you want to give me info? Give me info. But can I trust you? Can I truly trust you?
What would it take?
I have no clue.
Do you think
Tell
if
me
you
the
guys talk?
truth.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're seeing differences in the stories that she told me and differences in the stories she's told other people, then I can understand why you might not
Not only that, it's just the
trust.
difference of what she told you and what Antonio told me. I tell me the truth.
Well, that's concerning. I didn't realize, other than the one thing you told me recently that was out of the interview that didn't line up, I didn't realize there were other things. I didn't realize you had a list.
Oh, I have a list. Yes, sir.
Oh my
I
God.
have a list, a full list. But I mean, it's not even that. It's okay, to whomever did it. I don't even care anymore who you are. I really don't. Just drop an anonymous note. Just tell us where to find them. Do it on the YouTube channel. I don't care how you do it. Just tell us where. It can be anonymous. Don't care who you are. Just tell me where to find my kid. That's all I care
Yes.
about right now. He's got a
It-
6-year-old sister who will be 7 in September, who misses him dearly, who talks about him all the time. I mean, the 4-year-old, his brother don't really know him. He was just a baby. His sister knows him.
yeah.
Like, I did an AI picture aging thing on Ethan, took
It's
one of his pictures and did an AI aging on him. So I showed it to her. He's supposed to be like 35. I said, "Who's this?" She goes, "Ethan." I mean, you can't change her mind. She knows
wow.
him. And I believe if she saw him in public 2 days, she would tell you who he was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, she loved her brother. So I don't care who they are. Really don't care who they are anymore. I don't care. I just want to find my kid.
If they know where he is, I would implore anybody who has any information to. I normally I'm going to say this. Normally, I would say call GBI or call the police. In this case, yeah, I'm going to say reach out to Nicole first, and she will work with the police that she trusts. But let Nicole know, and she will do the right thing. I know Nicole. I've been talking to her ever since we met for like a year now, practically, and she wants answers. She will not. I believe you. If you're saying you're going to keep it anonymous and you just want to know where the hell he is and you're not going to give names, I believe you because I know you just want to get your boy back. Bottom line, you just
I
want to
care
help.
less who they are.
We need answers and we need to know where he is. I am worried a little bit if he's on land that will give away who's guilty. That will make it harder for people to just go to you and say, well, here he is, because kind of gives it away. So I worry that that's the situation and that's why they may not, which goes back to the warrant. And
Right.
you're just going to have to trust that. But hopefully that's not the case and he was put somewhere. I'll tell you, Nicole, though, in the back of my mind, and we're almost done here, I promise, but there's little thing in the back of my mind I constantly think about and I hope for you. And I know you've said before to me, I know that's not the case. You're the mom and you get those feelings and you understand. I understand that moms just know. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope, beyond hope, that Marie is telling the truth about the communication thing and that he's out there somewhere for some crazy reason, doing his thing, not wanting people to know where he is, and someday maybe he might just come up.
Maybe that's why I keep Snapchatting the same Snapchat she is. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you so you
Um,
have a little bit do you have a little bit left, a little bit of hope left that that's the case?
I don't have hope. I think my mental is there.
Okay.
Like mentally, I want him to be alive. And let me tell you how bad mentally I want him to be alive. And this is the first time it's ever happened. I've heard his name called in doctor's offices before. Never fazed me, ever. Yesterday, we're sitting in the dentist's office. You know, kids go back to the dentist now by themselves. You don't go back with them anymore. So I'm sitting in the waiting room. The dental hygienist comes out. She calls a boy. He's between 12 and 13, maybe 14 years old. His name is Ethan. He was waiting to go back. Do you know I got up out of my seat and went to the dental hygienist like I was going to go pick my kid up from her.
Oh my gosh.
And I just broke right there in the office. Just broke down in tears. Just couldn't control myself because mentally I want him here. Mentally I want him to be alive. But my heart and my gut says he's not.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. You've got your heart, you've got your gut. A piece of my heart is gone. I will never be the same again. My outlook on life is different now because of all of this. It's just different.
I'm imagining, I'm sorry, it's so weird. I'm sitting here, as you're talking, so obviously I'm a boy and I loved my mom. She wasn't the greatest mom in some ways. She wasn't perfect, but she was sweet in a lot of ways. And she took very good care of me when I was sick. And as you're talking, I found myself imagining the relationship you and Ethan had because especially when he was getting around 18, I was picturing you as a mom, and I just pictured you as kind of it must have been a cool relationship, I think. The personalities between you and Ethan.
We had a mother-son relationship, but also a friend relationship. So I could be
Yeah,
your mother, but I can be your friend. But I wanted that relationship that way so that he could come to me with anything. So that when he's stuck in the back seat of a police car, he could call me,
yeah,
which he did. He's done.
yeah.
He's called me from the back seat of a police car before
Yep.
because he got in a fight at his job, you know. Um, and hey, that's great. That's the kind of relationship we had, you
Yeah.
know.
And
So
he texted you, he talked to you frequently.
correct. So if
Yeah.
I was such a horrible parent, like people have made me out to be, why is it when he was arrested for getting into that altercation, why is it I was the first person he called?
Yeah.
Why is it when when the cops showed up that night, why did he ask for me by my full legal name, according to the officer that was there that night? Why did he ask for me by my full legal name?
On what night?
First, middle, and last. The night that he went missing. The night the cops
Are you
showed up.
serious? When the cops
He
showed up,
asked
he asked you my name.
by my first, middle, and last name. So if I am such a horrible parent and we did not have a relationship of any kind, why did he ask for me by my name?
Nicole, why didn't the cops reach out to you that night? This just
They
dawned
told
on me.
him they told him to call me. He said, I can't, I have no power. They assumed he had no power in his apartment. Ethan was trying to tell him he had no power on his phone. His phone was dead.
I'm not going to give a lot of detail. Uh, I've had situations with my kids where they had to get in touch with me, and the police would get in touch with me. They were over 18, and I'm now this red flag's going off in my head. Why did they not contact you that night? That makes no sense.
Well, now you see why the other red flag I have is with the info I gave you the other day.
I don't like it. It doesn't smell with the police behavior that day, everything about it. I'm sorry to the police force out there in Phenix City. But it doesn't smell right. Doesn't smell right. I just don't like it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And then I got that info I got the other day.
I know what you're talking about, which we can't talk about, but
Correct.
yeah.
But as you
That,
see, who sits
yeah.
on my wall above my head?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And this is my bed. I'm sitting on my bed. But yeah, he sits right here. Right here. Right here. And then this is what Kayla made me at school for Mother's Day. But yes, right here is where Ethan
Wow.
sits. Right above my head.
There is more than enough information for the police to do the search, in my opinion. There's way more than enough. They need to do it. They need to do it. They need to do it.
Silva has all that information, but he doesn't think it is corrupt.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he wants to trust his own police department. I get that. Again, and maybe the red flags aren't red flags, but they don't smell right to me based
Oh,
on my own.
they're red flags. No, they're
They
red
are.
flags.
Yeah. All right. I'm not taking any more of your time, Nicole, but I do want to give you a chance. Any last words? Anything you want to say to anybody at all? The floor is yours. I don't know how many views this is going to get. It could get 200. It could get 20,000. I don't know what the audience is going to be, but I want to give you a chance to have any last word that you want.
I just want everybody to understand that we all know Ethan did something wrong that night. We all know that he did something wrong. And I have said from the beginning that if I found him, yes, I would turn him in. We would let him pay his time. But the most important thing right now is just finding Ethan. Okay? That is the thing. Finding Ethan. Right now, he has lost both of his great grandparents that he was also close to. And Ethan had no knowledge that they were even sick like that because
Oh, wow.
Ethan is missing. So right now, the most important thing is to find Ethan. I don't care who did it. I really don't. At this point, I don't care. You can be free the rest of your life and do harm to whomever else you want to at this point because you'll eventually pay for your crime. But right now, I just want my kid found. I want to bring him home. That's it. I don't care. I just want to bring him home. I care less.
Okay. Got to bring Ethan home one way or another. He's got to get home. This is going on longer than most of the cases that we cover, and I feel for you, Nicole. Can't have another year go by without answers. This has to be it. 2025 has to be it. Has to be it.
Alabama law states 5 to 7 years I have to go through the court system, have him pronounced deceased.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Nicole. I hope that everything we were talking about recently, I hope the ramp up of stuff, I hope it comes to some conclusion finally for you. If it doesn't, we'll keep trying, keep talking. We'll keep trying to get you resources when you need it. If there's any new areas that come up or anything like that. But thank you for talking. Get some rest. Hopefully get some rest and don't. I hope you can get your mind off of this sometimes.
No. My mind is always willing about Ethan, I promise you. Between Ethan and these other two, my mind's always going.
All right. Anyway, thank you for talking, Nicole. Hope you have a great night.
All right, thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.